If your goal is to make life-changing money this upcoming bull run over the next 18 to 24 months, guys, then this might be exactly the chance that you've been waiting for. See, we weren't sure how much longer this dramatic bleeding is going to happen from that has been happening since the Bitcoin spot ETFs were approved. But some new evidence has come to our attention that this bleeding might start slowing quite a bit, and of course, eventually it will stop altogether. So in this video, we're also going to talk about the top 5 altcoins that I'm going to be looking to take positions in when the market looks better, when it looks like we have strength and we have confirmation yet. Because even though we had a nice little correction, or sorry, bounce back to like about 41,000 or something, we still don't know if that has kind of anchored itself yet. So we still could see some massive selling. But before I go into some philosophy for a second, also at the very end, we're going to drop a new super DEGEN meme coin in there, guys. I'll explain why I did it, even though in yesterday's video I talked about not buying anything. I think it'll make sense when we get to it. So let me talk about something for a second, guys. And also, if you're excited to find out the answer to these questions for this video, make sure that you guys do me a favor and please destroy that like button. Please, guys. And it would be really, really, that's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and do that. My name is Kyle Chasse. I've been in crypto for 12 years. My goal here on this channel is to bring as much value and help this community make as much money as humanly possible, period. All right, so let's get into it. So, sometimes we get so wrapped up in the news and like, it just seems like the narrative is so obvious, and yeah, we've had massive dumps from Grayscale, literally every single trading day since it opened. But when you look at the big picture, the inflows from the other 9 ETF providers are still greater than the total outflows from GBTC. So that simple economics tells us that if you were looking at a price chart with that amount of sell pressure versus that amount of buy pressure, the price should be up, right? So then I was thinking about the charts that we've been showing in the past couple of videos about the pre-halving correction that we had, right? And so it seems to me more like the GBTC thing wasn't the big overhang anyway, because that ties in with the whole ETF narrative, right? It seems like the market is just doing what it was planning on doing anyway, which is essentially following what it has done historically. And so hopefully we can use that more as a guide moving forward, right? Does that make sense, guys? So it's just the market doing what the market was going to do. I think it would happen regardless of GBTC or not. Of course, if GBTC didn't happen at all and it was just all inflows from spot Bitcoin ETF, that'd be a different story, right? But I think we can cancel out the ETF narrative having major effects on the price because logically it should have a positive effect, if anything. Okay, with that being said, guys, let's get into the show here. First thing that we're going to talk about is a tweet from Rand saying, Grayscale have sold 100,000 Bitcoin. The selling is almost done. And you can see, we'll get into this. Yeah, so the question is how much is Grayscale going to sell, right? And so we only have some sort of estimate. So 100,000 of their 600,000 that they had is about 16%. And James Seyfarth from Bloomberg Intelligence says that he believes that the Grayscale Trust will offload in total between 20 to 35% of their initial 600,000 Bitcoin. So maybe we have 4% more of the supply to sell, or maybe have 19% more of the supply to sell, right? So either way, the marketing guys at BlackRock and Fidelity and the rest of the ETFs are crushing it. They're getting good inbound flows. All good news, guys, here. So, and as you can see, yesterday, the outflows from GBTC were less than the day before, whereas 515 million yesterday and 640 million the day before. And just before I started filming this video, as of 11 p.m. local time, I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern as well, there was a significantly less amount of Bitcoin transferred to Coinbase from Grayscale. And the first batch of transfers doesn't mean that there might not be another one in an hour or two from now. But so far, today was significantly less than we saw on previous days. So all fairly good news, guys. And yeah, so another thing from Nate is, so now you can watch the spot Bitcoin ETF Derby in nearly real time. Shows total BTC held by each ETF, excluding GBTC, which holds approximately 550,000 BTC. This is through yesterday, fun visual. And so, yeah, you guys can see here, it's just basically the accumulation in real time. They're probably using, I don't know if it's on-chain data or whatever to do this, but it does look like the Cointucky Derby winning a race here. So this tweet, I'm not going to touch on it too much, but historically, February has been a good month. January and February have been good months for crypto. As you can see over here, mostly green, especially February. It's been mostly green. Doesn't mean, again, that this is going to be the case again, but just interesting observation, because in crypto, things usually rhyme, right? History rhymes. So which altcoins are we looking to pick up here when we feel comfortable that this dump is over, right? And I think that, so when my research team first gave me this list of tokens, I thought this was dumb, right? Because it's like these tokens that we're about to mention, they're not going to do 50 or 100x in the bull run, like a lot of the small to mid cap altcoins are that we will cover. But I reminded myself that the way that capital flows in crypto is from Bitcoin to Ethereum or large cap altcoins. Then it goes to mid cap and then smaller cap and then micro cap, right? And so, yes, the tokens we're about to talk about, I believe, are good for two reasons. One, they're relatively high cap, meaning that that's likely where revenue will flow to next. People do not feel comfortable with micro caps or small caps yet. That's not where attention will be put. And then the other problem I have with this list was it's tokens that we've only recently been talking about. And again, these are not the ones that are going to pump like crazy, but also the crypto space has an incredibly short memory, right? So we had a couple weeks so far of like bad markets, not a whole lot of new tokens launched in that time. And so if markets start going good again today or tomorrow, people are going to go right back immediately where they were the last green day of the market. And they're going to go back to these tokens that have been pumping and doing extremely well, right? So you can see Celestia is up 14% on the day. The data availability layer, this whole narrative is going to be extremely important. We've covered that many, many times before. I don't even need to go into it again on this channel. It doesn't even matter, right? Because we know the fundamentals of Celestia are amazing. But we're not holding Celestia throughout the entire bull run, right? That's not the plan. The plan is to be able to position ourselves in a good place to benefit the upside of the initial pump when markets start recovering aggressively. That's where money will flow first, and then take profits out of those plays and start looking at, going from large caps to medium large caps to medium caps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll keep you updated, guys. That's why you should subscribe to the channel, because this is a playbook that evolves all the time. And we're going to help you guys navigate that space as well. So, and just more positive news. Aevo, which we talk about a lot. Whenever we on this channel, we talk about a token that isn't yet traded, but there's a futures market for it. Like we did that with Manta, for example. And Aevo is that futures market that everyone's looking at, and they're integrating Celestia too. Wow. Okay. Now Suiet.
Every 2 years, because they're curious bunch.
This is
so when somebody actually, like, the team that built Move is extremely awesome. They're like really smart folks. The design is really good. I think Move itself is a really good attempt at building a more secure way to build smart contracts. So I think there's...
So Anatoly from Solana praising, Move as a programming language. Now, if you guys don't know, quick backstory is Facebook was building DM right? They got shut down, and then there was one main team for DM, and then that team essentially split into two teams, and then one went off and did Aptos, the other one went off and did Sui. The guys from Sui are the ones who actually wrote the original documentation for the Move programming language, even though both Aptos and Sui use the Move programming language. I don't know if that was interesting to you or not, but fun fact. So Sui, we made a show on this a couple weeks ago. We predicted this narrative would come into play, and it is coming into play. I think there's a lot of bullish things on Sui, but we'll put that in perspective for you in just a second here. You could also see too, if we look at all these different top cryptocurrencies, the best performer is Sui up here, this green one up here. Now, here we go. So it's crazy to me that Sui is going to be over $2 soon. Chain is relatively early. High yields plus foundation rewards, meaning inflation. Protocols with no tokens or points. So not a lot of apps have launched yet. There's no real users on Sui right now. And then this is interesting right here, right? Single clear meme winner, sub $2 million market cap. I will tell you guys about that at the end of the show. That's the one we're saving for the end of the show here. So of course, Chainlink is amazing to pick up. You guys know how bullish I am on this. I'm going to make a Chainlink video probably this week, hopefully in the next couple of days. If not this week, then for sure early next week. But there's some real big reasons why I think 2024 is going to be massive for Chainlink. You know, if you watch my channel a lot, you know that I'm bullish on CCIP specifically. That just went live, and there's a partnership I'm going to talk about on the Chainlink video too that is essential for Chainlink to function, and it solves a big pain point that Chainlink and CCIP had. Amazing. So I believe that in 2024, it's going to be the year when a lot of these big partnerships with Swift and TTCC, ANZ Bank, when they all go live, which will be massive revenue generation for Chainlink and the Link protocol ecosystem, and that'll benefit the token directly from that. So so Link, I think is good. You know, went to $17 or whatever, now it's back to 14. So, and if you guys know, I think Link will, not this bull run, but I think next bull run, it'll go to $1,000. That's where I'm placing my bets. Now, Manta Network, remember we covered this on the day that it launched. In the comments, a lot of people said, this is bullshit. It's a shitty chain, blah, blah, blah. Why? No, guys, no. A lot of projects mess up their launch. They've got problems, whatever. It doesn't mean they're a bad project. Look, it's up 28% today. When we talked about it, it was like $2.10 or whatever. It's $2.93 right now after all this bloodshed. Manta is a strong project, a strong narrative for all the reasons I've mentioned before on the channel already. Amazing. Ondo. Ondo got a little bit of FUD the other day because it had some more tokens come into circulation from a governance DAO proposal. But people were saying it was a team selling and blah, blah, blah. But they actually have a Coinbase listing coming. We know that for sure. And maybe they have a Binance coming. I don't know. But they need to send tokens to an exchange. So if anything, the Coinbase listing is obviously bullish for Ondo. If you guys just real quick, Ondo is a real world asset play. It's the number one real world asset play overnight. And if you look at the market cap, it's not this. Actually, the circulating supply right now is actually 2% of the FDV. So I think we just did the before recording the show, I think it's like a $45 to $50 million market cap. An insane cap table, et cetera, et cetera. So there's been a lot of attention on this. It's going to be it'll be the TradFi, and people are interested in blockchain for TradFi. It'll be their token, right? Tokenizing BlackRock's ETFs and things like that. So big deal. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about, guys, is this one. Is this Suicune? I can't how do you pronounce that? Suicune. I don't know, guys. But anyway, this is the number one meme coin right now on Sui. And it's trading at right now, when we made this, or when we read this tweet over here, it was sub $2 million, but now it's pumped a little bit. So $3.4 million. But remember, guys, we talked about, Now, I don't see this as it's not like a point where I'm like super convinced when it was like when I started going all in on Pepe and Bonk and stuff. But it is, as of right now, clearly leading the or the meme coin on Sui. 3.4 million FDV. It's nothing. And the thing is, it's not easy to buy. So what you have to do is you have to go get Sui from a centralized exchange, and then you have to download this wallet, this Suiet, SUIET.app. Download the wallet, send your Sui from the exchange to your wallet, and then you have to go on Dex Screener over here, and you can trade HSUI for Sui, and then you can connect your wallet here, do the swap in the app here, and then you have your token, right? So imagine this will be much more volume, and probably the price will skyrocket once this starts getting some centralized exchange listings. So for now, I told you guys yesterday I wasn't going to give you a bunch of things to buy. Of course, do your own research. This is obviously super degenerative, but I'm going to buy some. I haven't yet, but I'm going to buy some. And yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.